I'm Deborah Borchardt, and this is your Weekly Stash. Before we get into the headlines, Green Market Report is launching a new morning newsletter called The Morning Rise. Subscribe to it now if you haven't already. It's going to be original content first thing in the morning and not just an aggregation of headlines. So get ready to wake and partake of The Morning Rise. This week, Canopy Growth surprised the markets with news that it was creating a Canopy holding company for its U.S. properties. The Canadian company had options to acquire some American cannabis companies like Acreage Holdings and Wana Brands, but those deals weren't supposed to happen until cannabis was federally legalized. Now it seems Canopy has decided not to wait until that happens. The question, though, is whether the NASDAQ will allow the company to continue to trade on the exchange. The exchange has been firmly against trading any plant-touching cannabis companies, and so far, it looks as if they are not on board with Canopy's plans. The SEC has been busy this week with bad actors in the cannabis industry. Cronos Group settled with the SEC for some accounting errors. They agreed to pay over $1.3 million. And the company's accountant was also fined and barred from serving in that capacity for the next 3 years. New Age Beverage also found itself in hot water with the SEC for continually making false statements about the company. The CEO was ousted and the stock was delisted from the NASDAQ. The SEC also targeted CanAwake for not filing its financial statements. This week, Turning Point Brands announced its third quarter sales fell by 1.9% to $107.8 million. However, it did beat analyst estimates. The company is seeing good growth in Zig-Zag sales products, but the vape products keep sliding, and that's the problem. Verano is being sued by Goodness Growth over the company's decision to walk away from the planned acquisition. In addition to that, Verano has refinanced its debt and pushed out its maturity dates. The company is also going to lean harder on debt secured by its real estate holdings. And finally, the state of Florida threw cold water on the plan to combine medical dispensaries with Circle K convenience stores. GTI had recently announced that it had arranged to work with the store chain that is owned by Alimentation Couche-Tard, who already owns 20% of the Canadian cannabis company Fire & Flower. GTI said the dispensaries are just going to be next door to Circle K, not inside, but regulators don't seem amused with the thought of gas station grass. And that's it for this week's top headlines. I'm Deborah Borchardt, and this has been your Weekly Stash.